How long have you been, or when did you start transitioning?
I realized I was trans I always forget the day. I think it's October 20th, 2020. And right then and there is when I started my transition.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I'm going to use this great interview to expose to you the now that being said, I know you hate that I call Lily and you want me to call Lily by the other name. There are things called community standards on this channel and why I'm looking for other channels to put my content on so that we could have actual real conversation. So please bear with me as I abide by the community standards of YouTube. So I will have to call this person Lily and I will have to use the correct, I guess, in my opinion, not pronouns. But I'm going to try to even steer away from that. But anyway, let's just get into this because this interview is an hour long, but I wanted to cut to the pieces that I felt really show you who this person is. And the whole charade is falling and this person can't even contain themselves. And I don't even think that they even know that they're exposing themselves through this whole interview. It's so creepy beyond belief. But again, thank you so much for joining me, for subscribing to the channel, for liking and commenting. And I love the comments. Comment all, whatever you want to comment about stuff, comment it, because I actually do read the comments and I love them. So with that, let's get back into this interview. And again, I'm going to be cutting into the places I thought were the most important part, so it doesn't have to be a 10-hour video. And then I'll put the link to the actual interview so you can watch the whole thing. You can suffer through the whole thing as well. But in my opinion, these are the best parts of the interview.
Okay, what is your definition of a woman?
That's a tough one because
Is it?
A lot of people have a very specific and narrow definition. But at the end of the day, for me, if you feel like a woman, then you are. There is no rules of how your body needs to be configured. If you are a woman, you are a woman.
Okay, so the person makes no sense. Okay, that is the most lame answer ever. They know exactly what they're talking about. I also want you to remember, watch how this language comes out. I skipped a bunch of the beginning because it was so stupid. But that being said, the first thing comes out of this person's mouth is, well, actually, maybe I'll add it in. I don't know. But that being said, the first thing, what are your pronouns? So this person is playing the whole trans activist game in this place. But that is the most pathetic answer ever.
Do you consider yourself an advocate for trans rights? If so, please explain how.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I do. My platform, I use my platform to advocate and educate, not on behalf of the transgender community as a whole. That's not fair. I don't think anyone can really say that because it's a big community. But my goal is to bring the absolute basics, right? Like the most core essential things about the trans experience and make them easily understandable and catchy and interesting. For the average person who maybe has never met a trans person as far as they know.
Oh, you don't advocate for the trans community. You advocate for yourself and your own fetish, and you have destroyed the fact that this person even calls themselves a trans advocate. You know how they say advocate and not activist? This person is not dumb, just so you know. They're not a dumb person, which makes it even more scary. So you, again, just keep watching this language. And this person thinks they advocate for trans rights. Oh, you just and I have a video that I'm going to show you near the end because it really shows you that this person, everything they're saying is they think that they're representing the trans community, and the interview made me really mad because well, on one level, because everything they're saying is so gross, but on the second, they are saying things that people think have to do with the trans community. So let me go on here.
Have you ever knowingly taken money or received donations from a minor?
No. I will say that, like, on this app, it is pretty difficult, right? Like, knowingly is the key word, right?
No.
Someone could easily sub and be younger, right? But I would have no way of knowing that.
So they first were like, no, and then they sat for a minute and they thought about it, and they're like, actually, knowingly is the key word. So you do know that some of the people who are watching you and sending you money are minors. You admitted it in a roundabout way. So why are you taking money from minors on that app? And secondly, why are you even on that app speaking to minors? Is there a way on that app? Because I don't know much about TikTok, but I'm wondering if there's a way where you can make it so it's 18 and over and not just open to anybody. Because if this person actually cared, which I don't think they do, they would not even be discussing it with minors.
You talked a little bit about getting clean earlier and that kind of leading into your realization of being trans. I believe I've also heard that you found out you were trans during COVID and after being cheated on in a prior relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. No? That's not true?
Never been cheated on.
Do you think without COVID you would have ever found out you were trans?
What?
I think I would have. I don't know if it would have been exactly how, at the same time, because it's hard to like anticipate that. But I actually started my sober journey late 2019. I think at the very end of the year. And I think that was probably the thing that informed it the most. But maybe having time being in lockdown to like reflect sped up the process. And also me getting a job in San Francisco was informed by COVID to a certain extent. And being in San Francisco, which is a more inclusive place than where I was before, which was Georgia.
There you go.
Probably had an effect too.
You think?
Okay. Do you think being trans is caused by your experiences and or environment, or do you feel you are just inherently trans?
The latter. Being transness is not a product of anything that you experience. It just is.
Did you ever feel out of place in your body prior to that realization of whenever that moment occurred? Did you ever have any experiences where you felt uncomfortable in your body?
I never felt comfortable ever before I transitioned, physically and emotionally. I didn't have the vocabulary to express that gender dysphoria that I was feeling. But looking back, yeah.
I don't believe. And I'm going to show you right here by inserting this video where this person looks like they're having the time of their life being the other way. So I also want to remind you that COVID did create a lot of trans people. It did, because somehow everyone just was online and they're just admitting it here, right? So in 2019, they got sober, and in 2000, less than a year, they were transitioning. They moved to San Francisco, like they said, where it was easily accessible, got totally into the trans agenda. You can just follow exactly what's happening. Never had the thought of doing this prior to moving to San Francisco. And then the other thing I find interesting in this whole interview is never once do they talk about going to mental health care. Never once do they talk about it. So the whole thing is basically you found out you were trans because online and through San Francisco, where it was much more accessible to you. You're just spilling the beans. Keep spilling the beans.
Okay. We're going to start getting into some more like specific things here. Do you have any regrets about any of your content?
Good question. Wow, long pause.
I'm just thinking.
Yeah, you are. Oh my God. Wow.
Not really. I
Not
mean,
re-
there are certain things that if I could go back, I would do differently. But I don't think that necessarily means, oh, I wish I hadn't, like ideologically hadn't said something.
What?
Many have said that you intentionally seek to be misgendered for views, content, and free meals. You've said yourself that you don't have passing privilege, so to speak, and you have a deeper toned voice like myself. How can you or we expect to not get misgendered?
Yes.
I mean, that's the whole goal, right?
What?
That's one of the big things that I advocate for. Is not, no one is asked. I'm not asking anyone to read my mind. That's not on my slate of things to advocate for. I know that I don't pass. I know that I have a lower voice. I choose not to voice train.
There you go. I choose not to voice train. You walk this part right here. It just spills the whole tea.
But when those videos of me getting misgendered go around, I know that I'm the one that puts them out. But it's difficult when I put those out to convey a greater context around it. That like I stream 4 times a week, if not more sometimes. In the past, I've done as much as 5 or 6 or 7 times a week. And I go to restaurants and I eat the food, hang out and chat. And the vast majority of those times, I do not get misgendered, right?
Bullshit.
Sometimes I do. And when I do, I put those videos on the internet to draw attention to what happened, which is, hey, everyone should work on using more gender neutral language. That is one of the big asks of my content, and the things I'm trying to educate about is we all should be using more gender neutral language.
No, buddy. Let me just remind you, transsexual people want to look like a man. You just explained it all here. You don't want to transition to pass, okay, because you can't. You don't want to change your voice, but you expect everyone else to go along with your little grift and say you're a female and not misgender you. Yet, and then you pluck out the ones where you do get misgendered, because you just admitted it. You don't get misgendered in every single restaurant, but your content makes it look like you're being misgendered every time you sit down to eat. But that's not the case. That's literally not the case. You're pulling out the ones to make it seem like you're being misgendered all the time. And you know exactly, you are not a dummy. I will give you that. You went to school for marketing, you everything. Watch the interview. This person is in, guess what they do for a living before they got into this, okay? They're all into the tech space and all into that whole space where it's dominated by these kinds of trans women, okay? Just so you know. They know how to manipulate the internet and manipulate all of this stuff. So this person knows exactly what they're doing, and they expect all of you and us and me and the rest of the world to play. I want to change the world so that you can use gender neutral language. Go F yourself, friend. I like being called sir, and sometimes people call me she. Whatever, not my problem. That's your problem. I make an effort to pass for a reason. This is why I'm so over this person, and I cannot wait for them to be nailed. Lilly.
So how can we expect not to get misgendered?
You're
the
literally...
hope is that if we advocate enough,
what?
No one will have to worry about that.
Oh, shut up.
Right? If we advocate...
This person just transitioned a week ago and is trying to change the whole way trans people have lived for 1,000,000 years. This person does not care about trans people in any way, shape, or form. They care about themselves and making money off TikTok.
Enough. People like, and I don't know where you fall on this. I think that if I voice trained and maybe changed my body language a little bit,
You think?
And, you know, did a couple other things that I could be in the realm of past.
See, they know it. They actually know it. If they fixed their voice and talked a little bit more like a woman and they stopped sitting like a dude, look how they're sitting, right? You wait, something's coming up here. And then actually try to walk. They even said it, walk more like a woman. People wouldn't misgender you so much.
Probably, maybe. But there are some trans people out there who will never pass.
So,
be it for financial reasons or
oh my
because
God.
maybe they're too old to pass because, you know, it takes
Too
a lot.
old?
You know, estrogen takes time. Like, if you start transitioning at 60, you're
Wow.
probably not going to be able to get there.
That's not true.
And those people shouldn't have to worry about getting misgendered, right? Like,
So this person is advocating for people who don't pass. Bull. A total grift. Nope, totally. Total gaslighting and grift.
they shouldn't have to say, well,
No.
I guess I'm just going to get misgendered 24/7. What if they weren't?
What if?
That's the whole
So sometimes it appears. Do you ever feel like you could respond differently? Sometimes it appears if like a scene's being made, and if it means so much to you to not be misgender, like personally, how come you don't want to put more into like voice training and
Yeah.
things like that?
Let me take the first half of that first, right? Like, that I'm making a scene. I know you're not the only person who has suggested that I'm.
Did you just see? Did you just see that? They literally just pulled up their pants like a dude sitting in a chair. They just literally. I've never seen. Oh my God, you guys. This is just pathetic. We actually get to see it all exposed. Lily's being so exposed right here.
Overreacting, or that my reaction is uncalled for.
Overreacting.
The reason I react like that is because, and I know this sounds silly, it's because that's who I am. I am a confrontational person.
Wow.
I complain about things, not just
Wow.
about getting misgendered.
Wow.
I love complaining. But also, when I see an injustice, I will stand up to it. All the time, every time. So when I get misgendered, that's just my natural reaction. Like, could I react differently? Sure. But I don't, because that's not who I am, right?
What?
As far as the second half of your question goes, why don't then if it means so much to me, if I get so upset about it, why do I not just voice train? The answer there is because this is who I am. This is like, I like my voice. I like my voice. And I don't feel like I should be expected to change who I am just so that I don't have to deal with like a certain type of inconvenience, right?
Okay, so wait, then I'm gonna just, like, this is ridiculous. Then why are you transitioning? Why don't you just stay how you were before? Why don't you just stay like that? Why are you getting facial feminization surgery? Why are you trying to look, which you're not, more feminine? Why are you taking hormones if you don't care what people think about you? This is the grift that these fake trans people keep doing. They're like, I'm trans, but I don't need to make an effort to look a certain way because it's not my problem if you misgender me. It's your problem and blah, 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 bull. That's not true, because then why are you doing the other things? So you're doing other things, but you're not doing things like changing your voice or trying to walk differently. What is it that you want to accomplish? You're not transitioning. You are not. You are using the trans community to make money.
In a perfect world, everyone would use gender neutral language.
No.
And
No.
I could have a deeper voice.
No, that's not a perfect world, by the way. That's your world. In a perfect world, okay, which we were really getting to a space where I transitioned 33 years ago, Lily. We were doing this before you were even like thinking about whatever it is 4 years ago. So we were in a space where people kind of just navigated us and dealt with it. And we're like, as long as you're doing your own thing and not bothering us, we're good. Okay. So you are thrown back, and this person and you keep saying you don't speak for the community, but then you're like, I advocate for this. You're all over the place. You are such a gnarly grifter.
Not have to worry about it. Not have to worry about getting misgendered, right? And that's what I'm advocating.
Part of transitioning is getting misgendered, by the way. You personally, you will probably never not get misgendered.
Or is for both things to be true.
It's so frustrating.
Do you truly think that your content does more good than harm, or have you ever thought that your content or any specific piece of content might have caused more harm than good?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Countless trans creators have spoken out against you and the way in which you choose to create your content. Is this not concerning to you?
Some of those trans creators like to misgender me.
Like me.
I think a big narrative that has been really front and center lately, and I think it's hard to talk about this without bringing this up, is that there is a conspiracy theory amongst trans creators specifically that I am not actually trans.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Well, I think it's important to get into in context of this question. So when I see a trans creator calling me Nick or calling me him, no, it stinks to see it, but like,
oh, wow.
How can I take that person seriously? You know?
What? Like, how is anyone taking you seriously, dude? Like, you literally... you literally do not give respect. You expect everyone to respect your choice. And there's many of us who, in my opinion, do not think you are trans. You magically became trans during COVID.
Okay, but what about... I don't know, I just feel like there's like such a sheer volume of people. Like recently, as we've gotten closer into this, I've done a lot of like watching, and scrolling. Seems like there's such like a huge variety. It's not even just those ones that are like singling you out or only basing their platforms off of you, There's so many like offshoot trans creators, little creators, like it seems like there's a fairly large amount of them that aren't specifically like a Lilly Tino T page or whatever,
I mean, what you're asking is,
does that concern you? Does that give you any second thoughts about maybe the way you're approaching the way you deliver some of your content, so to speak?
Like, I'm not the only person saying that Kurt Cobain was trans, right? I'm not the only person saying that trans women should be able to use bathrooms, but the way I say it is different.
Yeah, that's right.
I know who I am. I know what I believe in. I'm always open to feedback, but I do this because I have something to say. And if people don't like it, okay. And I think that it's easy to see video after video after video of people trash talking me and ignore the fact that I actually do have a lot of support. It's not everyone that hates me. A lot of people like me. Otherwise, I wouldn't do this. Like, if every single person in my life told me that what I was doing was wrong, and I wasn't like, and I didn't get any nice messages saying that I really helped someone or to like keep going or, you got this, girl, like I look up to you. I watch your streams every day. Like, it's not insignificant. It's not like I have a small little group of people and the whole world hates me.
Yeah, but they're all like 12-year-olds, and that's a little bit weird. Like, you're actually letting 12-year-olds tell you that? Like, whoa.
It's easy when you get stuck in that algorithm of negative videos about me to believe that it's everyone, but it's really not.
Okay, so how do you justify creating such descriptive content regarding gender reassignment inside of a children's themed park?
Right.
Great. Disney World's for everyone.
But it's themed towards children.
No. There's things for children. There's plenty of things for adults too.
Oh God.
I mean,
Wow.
plenty of rides.
Key people always justify this is going to be great. Always justify why they can be around little kids in little kid spaces. In my opinion, Disney World and Disneyland, it's for kids. Just so you know.
You need to be a certain height. Children can't ride a lot of rides at Disney.
Oh my God.
They sell alcohol there. They have events.
Yeah, because parents bring their kids and let them run around and have a beer or two to chill out finally because they've been having to deal with their kids all week. It's literally for the adults to drink the beer so the kids can go on the rides and who have children. You don't have children. You're a single adult showing up at Disneyland dressed like a little girl and eating and talking about corn dogs and cake pops. Yeah, sure.
That are just for adults.
Wow, just wow. The pee people love, they make the most disgusting justifications of why they can be in children's theme parks.
So you don't see anything wrong with creating those pieces of content,
Yeah.
regardless of, I guess, if you think it's geared towards children or not. You don't think there's anything wrong with that?
Well, I mean, Disney World is not just for kids. Like, I mean, you could say that I filmed a video. Like, how about this? I
I just
filmed.
want to know if you think anything's wrong with that. Yes, you don't think anything's wrong with that.
No, of course not. Why would anything be wrong with it? There are no kids in the video. Kids weren't listening
wow.
to them. Why does it?
What does it accomplish doing it there, and why not make that sort of content in a more private setting or setting that a lot of people perceive to be a children's themed park?
Yeah. Good question.
Why not do it somewhere else, basically? Why there, of all places?
Because I love Disney World. And there's a lot of fun, interesting visual things that I can use to make content with.
Oh my
Have
God.
you ever
see?
visited any Disney park prior to transitioning and becoming a content creator?
Yeah.
Of course you
I grew up in
did.
Florida. Busch Gardens, Disney, Universal, Islands of Adventure. Love it. Love it all.
But did you talk about corn dogs and cake pops when you were there?
How many times I rode the Men in Black ride when I was in middle school, over and over and over again.
Middle
It was
school.
like it was like a part-time job riding that ride.
So, going deeper into that, recently the Florida Attorney General has said that they are investigating the issue regarding your content in and around women's restrooms on your recent trip to Disney World. Do you not think this type of attention is harmful towards our community?
That's a bit of a skewed way to ask that question,
Is
right?
it?
I guess the real... If you take the Florida Attorney General out of it, maybe we should talk about those pictures to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Those pictures I took because it's important to normalize trans women in women's bathrooms.
Oh, remember the last video I just did? And if you didn't know about it, they're talking about sexual grooming. And this person is a complete, total example of it. One of the words they use and the things they do to normalize trans women in women's bathrooms is by saying that if the more they show up, the more it normalizes. That is a very, very bad... That word is used in the context of to normalize. You will never normalize trans people in this situation. We are not normal, okay? And we never will be normal. And we have to understand that in order to move forward in our lives. And when you talk about normalizing men in the women's bathroom, okay, that is completely insane because it opens doors, and any normal trans person knows this and why they avoid these situations like the plague, except Lilly.
You should agree.
Yes, but the argument is that I guess the place you decided to do this is really what all this revolves
Great.
around. You're adamant that Disney World or Disneyland isn't a children's themed place, but most people, the majority of people that visit or the reason they go is for the younger age people. Of course, you have adults there and things like
Wow.
that, but the majority of who's attending these parks and what their trips are around going there is children.
That's right.
I mean,
So you don't think that that video and the bathroom selfies and including other people created negative attention towards our community?
Mariah, there is negative attention towards our community, whether or not I am making content.
That's not true. We were totally doing good there, my friend. We were totally moving forward. So you created so much negative energy towards our community. You will never, ever, ever take responsibility for your actions, ever. I watch you. You're so arrogant. You're so arrogant. You have such that I don't even know if I could say it. It's just like that energy. You have such that energy.
People are going to find anything they can to attack us with.
Yeah, but
We could literally,
there's smarter ways to go about it rather than like doing all of this in like Disney World is the whole thing. Like as a parent myself, I just can't wrap my head around how you could think that that location specifically would be the place of places to go make these videos about gender reassignment and take bunch of bathroom selfies with you. You have people in the back that didn't consent and they've came out and said they felt uncomfortable. And then you've responded with like a video somewhat mocking this person.
Yeah.
Like all of this you feel is okay to do.
I think
You use those long pauses there. Also, I don't know if I did tell you that this person interviewing is also a trans woman, but really I think super cool and understands their space, and they are a parent who is a male to female trans person.
you're
Like you don't see any wrong, Lily?
Huh?
You don't see any wrong in
they
any
don't.
of this? Like
They don't.
Why would I? You tell me.
Oh my God. Wow. Wow. Wow.
okay, I'm not that's key. How do you feel about potentially being investigated and potentially charged with a crime in Florida? Like, how does Lily feel about this being like a thing?
It is already a crime to be trans in Florida, more or less.
No, it isn't. Look, let me tell you something. Oh my God. You see, what's a crime is when you do stuff like this, okay? But if you just made your way in the world and made an effort to pass and walk and keep your camera out of women's toilets where there's little kids, you wouldn't have any problem walking around Florida. Do you know how many trans people I know that live in Florida and have lived there before any of this and still during this? So no, sorry. Nope.
And it is becoming that
Nope.
more and more every single day.
No, it isn't. No, it
Being
isn't.
trans puts a target on your head.
See, if this person didn't have this talking point, they wouldn't make any money. So they're perpetuating this so that they can continue to make money. Because if trans people were just accepted normal like we were for a while there, they wouldn't have a platform to do all this stuff. This is the grift. This is a grift that we all have to expose to this person, about this person.
In Florida. Whether or not you are a content creator making a point.
So then why are you going to Florida? This is another question I have. If you know that it's illegal for you to be in the women's restroom, it's illegal to be trans, why are you there? Why did you go there?
In Disney, it is unsafe.
Then why are you
Trans
there?
people,
So if you were making a point in Disney, you knew the significance that the location would have on the content you were creating.
There you go.
You know how it was going to be perceived going into it.
That's right.
This wasn't a surprise to you. When
There you go. Lily.
the point that I am trying to make, and a point that I think I make quite well, is that we are not going to be sitting around in our houses, sad that we can't be ourselves in public. I am allowed to be trans.
I walk around the
at
world.
Disney. Okay? There.
Yes, you are allowed to be trans at Disney. What does that even mean? I walk the world. Oh, I walk the world this way. No, do I ever, I never feel unsafe. I've been doing it for a long time. Never. Okay? Because trans is not an identity. You have made trans as an identity and you want to be seen. You want to be seen as a trans person. I hope you all understand this is the grift.
There's this weird misconception that I'm going around Disney World handing out corn dogs to kids saying, oh my gosh, have you heard about bottom surgery? Oh my God, if you drink this drink, just drink it. You'll turn trans, right? Like,
no.
I'm making content that is engaging, that is provocative on purpose.
At the same time, controversial. Would you not agree?
That's how you make money.
So controversy is going to create negative energy, especially in our political climate that we're in right now. We're being attacked from all angles. You feel that this is the right time and place to be bringing that sort of controversy, which in turn negative attention to the trans community?
Be like,
you think it's more beneficial than it is harmful?
So what's the alternative? What, like, let's say that
not making that content at Disneyland is the alternative. Doing it somewhere else besides Disneyland and Disney World. Like, people make content at Disneyland and Disney World, but they're eating the corn dogs. They're not talking about turning them inside out and using cake pops to describe bodily parts.
I think so.
Do you ever feel that there's a line you shouldn't cross, or you're willing to cross any line to get that attention, the views, that to get your word out?
Two things. Number one, I recently posted a video about sports, and we don't need to talk about it other than for me to say, when I was filming that, specifically the shots on the track and field, there were children around. They were around. Children are everywhere. That's what I'm trying to say.
Children are everywhere, and you should avoid them at every cost when you're making your content. So I don't care. Of course, you're in a public environment, but an actual real person who actually cares, okay, to help our community move forward, to understand that you avoid the children. You're not even avoiding the children. You're being blatantly out there, openly a P person.
They're at the park. They're everywhere except my apartment, right?
Oh.
I can't go walk down the street for 5 minutes without seeing someone who's a kid, right? We exist in public as trans human beings.
No, we don't.
Kids exist at Disney. Kids exist outside of Disney. I like Disney because I love theme parks. Okay? I love food. I love silly, funny content. I grew up watching a show called Good Eats, where
Are you calling the content you made at Disneyland silly, fun content?
Yeah, I'm cutting a corn dog. That's silly.
But the manner in which you're doing it and the descriptions
I think this person has a serious sociopathic space going on. I really do. This person is so scary, and just complete denial and narcissism and a fetishist and everything that we just shouldn't even be acknowledging this person as they're not trans. They're not.
You're using it as.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't think that's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people don't think being
huge
trans.
Amounts of people, like, and it makes them feel negative towards other people that are trans.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless if they agree with it or not.
Do you truly believe that without my content, people would feel no negative feelings towards trans people?
I feel, first off, I'll go before you, my friend. Yeah, let me tell you, they would never have the same negative look at that you opened a door for all you weirdos on TikTok to do that kind of content, okay? So no, yeah, I believe that if you weren't doing that stuff, people would have a different opinion about trans people. Now, what do you think?
Like there would be less.
You think that I am responsible
Yeah.
for a lot of negative feeling towards trans people?
Yes.
I think you have a significant reach. Your most viewed videos is 40 million, nearly 40 million
Disgusting.
views.
Not even close to 40 million. Like,
It's 39 million I checked today.
what? Where am I getting 40 million views? I'm not getting paid for 40 million views. Maybe 4.
Okay, to keep going into that, what's the most amount of money you've ever earned off a single video? Are you willing to say that?
Okay.
Good question.
Was probably the video that Elon Musk commented on a couple of years ago.
A couple of years.
And
No.
I will say that the average I make on any given video is a couple $100.
Even with millions of views, 10 million views.
Oh, come on. Me and you, we all know this person would not be doing this grift for a couple $100. You and I both. And I can tell you right now, as somebody who creates content and has been creating content for a long time, that's a total lie. Total lie.
You get a couple $100.
No.
Okay, currently there is a petition with over 500,000 signatures, more than that follow you, that think you should be banned, regardless of if you could actually be banned from a petition like this. How does it feel knowing that large amount of people think that what you're doing is not appropriate and shouldn't be allowed on TikTok?
There are more than 500,000 people in the world that believe that trans people shouldn't exist.
Oh my God. That is a lie. That's a lie. Oh,
Okay.
show me those stats where, come on. Blech.
So you do not do and make this content and this what you know is controversial. You said yourself going into Disneyland, you knew the reaction you were going to get. If you're not doing this for views and money, why take your content so far and be so controversial about it?
The point is not to be controversial. The point is to engage, to educate. If you sit down and aim a camera at your face and say, bottom surgery is the process by which a surgeon takes a blah, 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 and does a blah, 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 and flips the blah, 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 no one's going to care. No one cares. But
Of course they don't care. You're exposing yourself. They don't care because it's none of their business. We don't need to put our private surgeries on the internet. It should be kept in a trans space for trans people to help themselves see other people's process so that they can move forward, because I've been creating that kind of content for 20 or more years in a private space for other trans men to talk about our surgeries, so that, but not all over TikTok and all with food in front of kids at Disneyland. So you're admitting to it right there. Like, yeah, people would not be interested because it's a private, actually insane space to even look at these kinds of surgeries.
if you take an otherwise boring topic, whatever it is, and this is why I was talking about the shows that inspired me as a kid.
Wow.
Good Eats is one of them. Bill Nye the Science Guy, Iron Chef, Mythbusters. These shows all take scientific concepts, maybe not Iron Chef, but they take relatively uninteresting textbook concepts and they bring them into their content with props, with lights, with music, with all these different things to make it fun and exciting. And that's how they teach you, right? No one cares about a textbook that's boring.
So see, Lilly wanted to make you squirm, and Lilly wants to explain to you how a penis is turned into a vagina, as if you care and even need to know. The general population should never know about this or even want to know about it.
Yeah, but it's a more fragile environment that we live in, especially in this in this political environment that we have and all these things that trans people are dealing with, to purposely go into Disneyland and talk about such descriptive,
disgusting,
and inappropriate things at some points.
What's inappropriate about it?
It's just not an appropriate thing to do at Disney World.
Why?
I don't understand how you think that is okay.
Cuckoo.
And going into more of this, some would argue that your content is being aimed and directed at children. Between the impersonation of children's characters and the content in the Disney parks, you've even gone as far as creating other content, as you would like to put it, while portraying children's characters. How do you justify this? And how could you think that this type of behavior is acceptable?
Like Velma?
Several children's, or not several, I know of two. That one and
Lola Bunny?
Miss Rachel.
Oh, I never...
Two different, I'm not saying you did both in the other content, but you've used children's characters.
I've never brought Miss Rachel into other content, ever. Nor would I.
I think that's true.
You have a video where you're like dressed up like Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
There's no, Velma has been a character for like 60 years and is a staple in cosplay, both other content and otherwise.
Totally into cosplay.
I think it's ridiculous to suggest
and Velma,
that
right?
Velma
is that from Scooby-Doo?
Cosplaying Velma.
That's for a children's.
I'm
not saying you did both in the other.
That's a children's cartoon, by the way. So yeah, I'm fast forwarding.
Right, seeing a clocky trans woman in a bathroom, it's gonna trigger some people. That's the point. Is to challenge people's...
Literally trying to trigger people, though. That's a negative energy. You're triggering them in a negative way.
I mean, if thought-provoking art is crossing a line, then we just have a disagreement on what art is. If you are upset that a piece of art...
You're not going to Disneyland cutting up a corn dog. That is not art. That's diabolical.
Why not?
Have you ever communicated with a minor in an inappropriate way?
No.
There's an allegation of a stream and a mom coming in and changing the subject.
The vegetable thing? I made a video about that.
Dark
that person
cloud.
is 25 years old. There are people in the stream right now, in my stream. I guess you can't see them. They were there.
Oh my god.
So that was just a misunderstanding. And I know there's misunderstandings, and I know people skew things. We saw that prior to this when somebody made a video that looked like you were saying something about me. But when I step back and I look at everything from a holistic view and take opinions from all across the board, I see so much more negative responses to the content you create than I see positivity or people being uplifted.
Okay. Enough. We're pretty much done with it as it is. I just cannot even believe that person is even around. But I think what's important, number one, about this interview is that Lilly just exposed themselves and their whole intentions. Lilly said that they are a confrontational person by nature. That's what they are. And they have every intention to be confrontational by not passing, by not fixing their voice, by not learning how to walk like a trans woman. Yet they're also saying that they don't represent the trans community. Yet they blasted Blair White for having a different opinion about going against the community.
In the movies, we see people betray their own kind all the time. But sadly, it's also happening in the trans community. Take Blair Blair White, for example. She is a trans woman, albeit a conservative one. But instead of advocating for change or pushing people to be more accepting with her very large platform, Blair throws trans people under the bus in order to be seen as one of the good ones by conservatives.
This person is all over the place. I really believe this person has a problem here, seriously. And we're all feeding it by doing this, including me, by giving them platforms and talk. But I think the reason we have to do this is so that we can get rid of this person. This person belongs in a place to get help. They need help. They're being completely fueled to do all this, and it's quite. And now calling it art, like calling their work art, is just that's it. What's the next thing that's going to happen? I just don't even know. But that's just like I really wanted you to see the talking points that I felt to be the most, that this person just exposes themselves as a grifter, and they're not trans. Nope, they are not trans. They are something else, maybe AGP, fetishizing, into the attention and all of that. Just became trans during COVID. All of it. So
I've made it into Disney World. I don't really know what the deal is with bathrooms. Florida is really conservative. I don't know what the rules are. Trans women are allowed to be in women's bathrooms, but I'm about to go and use the bathroom because I have to tinkle. If I get stopped, I guess. But I'm a woman, so I'm going to use the women's bathroom, and being in Florida or being in California or wherever isn't going to stop me.
oh yeah, wanna bet? This is going to get so good, you guys. Guess who is under investigation? Trans TikTok influencer Lilly Tino, for filming in women's bathrooms at Disneyland, faces 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine under Criminal Code 810.145. Then the Florida AG says, Attorney General says, we're investigating. No tolerance for men in women's bathrooms. We're cracking down. Oh, man, this is going to get good. I had to do this one because it's just big news. We've all just been so disgusted by this person. And they just have this attitude that good luck. Listen, he just said it right there. Trans women are allowed in the women's bathroom. Trans women can do whatever they want. Sorry, but ain't gonna happen. So then Lilly, remember this one Lilly posted?
Bathroom selfies got y'all real upset, huh? Saying, oh, Lilly, you can't take selfies in the bathroom. It's not appropriate. Well, let me remind you that literally every celebrity you've ever enjoyed on screen has at one point taken a bathroom selfie. For example,
oh my God.
and it's not just celebrities. Any woman you ever meet has likely taken a photo in a public bathroom.
No.
Why, you ask? Because we look cute and we want to document it. So what is different about me that I'm not allowed to take bathroom selfies? The easy answer here is, oh, Lilly, you're a trans woman, so you get held to a different standard. And that is true. But people judge trans women.
What is different? What is different about me? Do we really need to explain to you what is actually different? Women don't go to Disneyland and talk about their corn dogs and their cake pops and talking about the fact that that you belong in the women's bathroom. Everything that comes out of your mouth, no woman says. I guess they don't have to say it. So I just wanted to start out with that because that is the reason why this situation is happening. But before I move forward, thanks again for liking, subscribing, helping this channel grow. It really does mean a lot to me. So, I actually enjoy doing this stuff because it just really is showing the fall of the trans empire. It's happening. It's just so great. You can't build your house on a false foundation, kids. So I hope a generation of kids really learn from this insanity, and the fact that we have adults like this in our midst in the trans space is so upsetting beyond belief. So this conservative commentator explains it all. Let me bring this up right here.
Really quickly, we have a friend, lives with TikTok, and she wanted us to ask a question about something that was going on that's very strange here in the state of Florida. Now, I know that DeSantis versus Disney is one of the hotter topics of the last couple of years. You ended up winning that brawl straight away. And I don't think Disney's like functioned ever better, actually, quite frankly. Like a lot of things are changing in that area and region, and it's for the better, right? Sure. Universal just opened this massive new park. I haven't been there, but a lot of cool stuff going on there. A lot of big dynamic energy in Orlando. Tying through to what you just announced this morning about child trafficking, and tying through to predation, right, of vulnerable peoples here in the state of Florida. There was a TikTok influencer named Lilly Tino, who is who's taking videos and photos inside of the women's bathroom in Disney. And I'm thinking, well, wait a second. There's no way that this can be legal in the state of Florida, right? This is a transgender influencer. This seems to be like, first off, like you shouldn't be allowed to like film inside of bathrooms. It seems really creepy. But then here in Disney, it's like extra layers of creepy and wrong. Is there anything happening from a state level on this topic?
Yeah, we're investigating this. We do not tolerate men or boys in women's and girls' restrooms, gyms, private spaces, no tolerance. We're investigating this one. We've already cracked down on some gyms in South Florida. Wow. They were allowing people that identify as women to go into women's locker rooms. Wow. We put them on notice that legal action was coming. Thankfully, they changed their ways. Alachua County, a public school system, they had a camp, Camp Crystal Lake, where they were allowing fifth grade elementary age boys to identify as girls and stay in the girls' bunks. We shut this down right away too. Thankfully, they did not fight us on it. It's amazing we have to have these conversations today. Is. But here in Florida, we believe there are two sexes, men and women, and we are going to protect our girls at all costs.
I don't care what you think. The fact that they're saying we're going to protect our girls at all costs just means so much to me as a transsexual person who really understands the dynamic of transition and how can a child even be put there. This is not trans. I really need you all to understand. It's been so muddied and so ridiculously taken over into an ideological space. It's upsetting to even watch all of this happen. And people say, we were really getting people to understand our disorder and really letting us sort of be part of, if that makes sense, or just sort of letting us be because we weren't doing these crazy things and people like Lilly Tino didn't exist before. So now, everything they say, if you want to call me a conservative, right-wing bootleg, you go right ahead, because words mean nothing in that respect. Because if it means to actually get back to a reality-based world, I'm all for it. And I can't be part of this insanity, and the kids are being targeted. I don't care what any of you people say in the trans space. It is so obvious. You brought this upon yourself. So the next thing I have, and I think this is the guy that triggered the whole investigation.
I actually just got followed back by the Polk County Sheriff's Office official TikTok page after I did a video asking Sheriff Judd to get involved in arresting Lilly Tino for the illegal trespassing that she was doing within women's restrooms in Disney World and taking pictures in the women's restroom with children in the background, which is also illegal in the state of Florida.
I'm pretty sure it's illegal everywhere, not just in Florida. Okay, I don't know about here in California. Pretty much you can do anything here and get away with it. They actually sort of put those people on a pedestal, in my opinion. But that being said, that dude really has a huge following, and he really alerted the people. So on some level, social media can be a productive, positive thing, because finally people are seeing that Lilly person who was literally like, what are you going to do about it? Attitude. Honestly, I really will be so happy if this person gets put in jail. It will set a precedent for this nonsense. And I think you watch, people will stop being so emboldened to say and do and be around children that they think they can do because they're trans, and you have magical powers when you're trans. So the next The next thing, this influencer I like, I'm friends with him, and I just think he also spells it out. You know, tons of influencers are talking about this, especially within the LGBT community. They're all so happy this is happening. We've been asking to get rid of this person for a long time. It's funny because I get so nailed on TikTok for I'm on a warning, one more bad thing and I'm taken off. But they let people like Lilly Tino on. That's why the whole thing is so absurd and disgusting. So
no update. You're not going to believe this girl. Grab a cocktail. Come here. I got the hot gossip for us. So you didn't hear it from me, but allegedly, Lilly Tino, Nick Cantino, you remember how he went into the girls' bathrooms in Disney World, was taking pictures, filming, thought, you know, he was real cute doing it for TikTok and everything. Well, the word on the street is, okay, and again, didn't hear it from me, Nick is facing up to 5 years in prison, okay, and a $5,000 fine. He's currently under investigation under Florida's AG for what he did in Disney. I know. Listen, I think with all the division and everything happening in this country and around the world, we can all collectively come together and agree that this is long overdue. Finally, some consequences to your actions. You come on here, you think you're invincible, you can do whatever you want. Let's talk about gender reassignment surgery in front of kids in Disney World. Yeah, that's acceptable. Let's post about it online. Yeah, that's acceptable. Let's go into a Disney World bathroom, right? Cater to little girls. Let's take pictures. You do such a disservice to the trans community and really the LGBT community altogether. Finally.
Everyone's saying finally. Such a disservice. That person, Lily, is not trans. Okay, and I will prove to you how I know that. Because also, not only is this happening, but this is happening.
Suing Lilly Tino for emotional distress. Last week, I was in Disney World in the women's bathroom with my child. And when I walked into the bathroom, there was Lilly Tino taking pictures in the bathroom mirror. And she turned to me and said, "Hey, let me get your face in this picture." And I said, "No, thank you." But then she took the picture anyway of me and my kid. And I felt this really weird feeling. And I looked down at my kid and my kid got turned into a corn dog. Lilly Tino turned my kid into a corn dog. And then she looked at me and said, "Oh, that'll be great for a video. Can I use your corn dog kid to explain bottom surgery?" And I was about to say no, but then J.K. Rowling walks in and says, "I'm here to defend real women." But of course, Lilly Tino pulls out her wand and starts using transgender magic. But J.K. Rowling was ready and pulled out her wand, and they did the thing where the spells go like... But J.K. Rowling was really smart and used a misgendering spell on Lily, and Lily got banished.
Okay, enough, you freak. Okay, enough from that. You see how smug they are and how they're making fun of the whole seriousness of this? This person, Lily, does not in any way, shape, or form take any responsibility for making complete jokes out of it, that people are saying, "Hey, wait a minute here, buddy. We don't want you in our bathroom. We have little children." This person does not care about kids. They don't care about any of it. They're smug. They're disgusting. And, oh, they're going to go down. They are going to go down. And it is going to be one of my favorite arrests in a long time. Okay, so then I wanted to bring this up.
Now you're out here walking women because you're facing a $5,000 fine and 5 years in prison because you're being investigated by the Attorney General of Florida, which is actually a good thing. But what you have also successfully done is you've ruined it for the trans community as a whole. You've stereotyped it times a million. You've made yourself a victim. You've made yourself believe that you are just some victim of all these circumstances when you put yourself in these positions. So not only do I hope you get prison, but I hope you get good psychiatric care wherever you're going, because it's not going to be good. And I hope that you get investigated to the full extent of the law and prosecuted to the full extent of the law, because what you've done is absolutely predatory behavior. Totally. There is a line, okay, and I feel for the trans community because you have ruined it for so many of them right now, just trying to live their lives. So many people were starting to have an open mind about this and being like, okay, can we figure this out? Can we not figure this out? Okay, but you've ruined that because you've shown that men don't belong in women's bathrooms whatsoever. We all know this, okay? And when you make videos saying you're uncomfortable with a 3-year-old in the women's bathroom when you go into it, well, how do you think that 3-year-old feels, honestly? And the trans community was already having a hard time with this. You've ruined it for like every single one of them. You need to be prosecuted to the full extent of the law for every bit of damage that you've done to anybody and for every victim that you've ever put into place, because you're not the victim here. You're trying to victimize yourself and project it onto others, but ruining it for the whole trans community as a whole. So congratulations on that. I hope that you get locked up, and I hope that you get the help that you need. And for the rest of the trans community out there, I do have empathy for you. There are people out here that do have empathy for people just trying to live their lives, but for predatory behavior, I absolutely have no empathy for. And every single one of you that is doing something disgusting like this, you need to be investigated as well.
Honestly, I had to put that because I just want you to know that I thank you so much to all the people out there who do see real transsexual people and the struggle we have to do, and that how sick we have to deal with people who have infiltrated our community and brought children into it and brought weirdo. Oh, I better cut that. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say that anymore, but people in it, and brought like all of these young girls getting destroyed through surgeries and hormones, and that you can change. So I just really feel her empathy towards us and compassion. And I think there's a lot of you out there who also, we were on our way. If not, we were there and we were completely accepted. And then it just got completely derailed by crazy people. So I appreciate all of you who do see us and do understand how important this transition is for many of us. And, you know, as you know, I just am a different solid person, and I have a great life, and I just want to contribute back into the world. I don't want to take from any of you. I want, you know, and that's what a transsexual person is. So I just wanted to show you that because I kind of feel like it reflects a lot of my subscriber base, as well as a lot of the world just does see us, but doesn't want to also acknowledge those other people as part of what we have done and what we need to do for ourselves to be better people. So this last one I felt was really important, and I magically just found it it just came to me. So I felt like, okay, it came to me when I was searching Lilly nonsense, and then it just popped up, and I was like, wow, this one is so important. I'm probably going to have to bleep out some of the stuff here because I'm not really sure of still what's going on with YouTube, but I want to make sure that you see this because it's actually super important in my opinion.
I know that this is backwards for you guys, but this book is integrating research, practice, prevention, and policy. What is grooming? Is the normalization and desensitization of increasing boundary violations. I want to show you this clip.
My goal in taking those pictures was to normalize trans women using the women's room. Was to normalize trans women using the women's room.
Tino is admitting that he is trying to normalize men violating women's spaces. That is his goal. Grooming is his goal. Normalizing and desensitizing women to this boundary violation, that is his goal. This is a predatory goal.
There you go.
As I have said, good men stay out, so bad men stand out. Lilly Tino is standing out.
Bam. Bam. Couldn't have said it any better. That's literally what's happening. So, wow, I just feel so like kind of speechless because that woman just put it all out there for us to see. If this Lilly person does not go to jail, something is wrong. But in my opinion, I think they're going. I think they're going to get nailed with that fine. I think it's going to set a precedent to show that this can't happen anymore and we're done. All of us are done with it. No more of this insanity. And so I do appreciate you all so much for helping this channel grow. And I just want to say this. I know you see us, real transsexual people here, and I know that you do have empathy for us, but I want you to know that we're detached from people like this, and we do not in any way. And when I say we, I really am speaking for the transsexual space. We don't want anything to do with this. We want nothing to do with children. We want to just live our lives and get back out into the world and assimilate. That word is very important in a transsexual space. Assimilate. We want to assimilate.